The dog moved with a purpose that didn't fit its mangy frame, limping past Evelyn Grant through Copper Ridge's dusty streets. It never hesitated at the crossroads, where even locals sometimes faltered, as if it had walked this path 100 times. Evelyn, 28 and a widow for 5 years, watched it pass, struck by its determination. She'd never seen the dog before, yet it strode toward the abandoned Morrison cabin, a place whispered to be empty for over a decade. There, it scratched the door 3 times and sat, waiting. Evelyn's curiosity pulled her closer. Fresh carvings marked the doorframe, deliberate, recent. Someone had been here. Hunger gnawed at Evelyn's stomach, a constant companion in the drought's 4th month. Copper Ridge was parched, the town well nearly dry. Rationing was strict, but wealthy families skirted the rules, while Evelyn survived on odd jobs and a meager garden. Invisible to most, she lingered on the edges of the town's gatherings, kind but forgotten. That morning, she'd been outside Morrison's general store, watching families buy supplies she couldn't afford, when the dog appeared. Brown with white patches, it limped badly but moved with authority, ignoring shopkeepers' shouts and thrown stones. Something stirred in Evelyn, recognition of another outcast. She followed. The dog turned left at the church, right past the schoolhouse, where children's laughter echoed faintly. Evelyn's chest tightened, memories of a life that might have been, children, a living husband, stinging her. She kept walking, drawn by the dog's certainty. It led her to the town's outskirts, where abandoned homesteads dotted the hills. The Morrison cabin loomed, its sagging porch and broken shutters a relic of loss. Joe Morrison and his family had vanished one winter, leaving only rumors. Up close, Evelyn noticed trampled weeds, smudges on the brass doorknob, the door slightly ajar. The dog whined, nudging it open and limping inside. Evelyn hesitated. The cabin was supposed to be empty. Yet the dog's confidence pulled her forward. Inside, dust and wood smoke mingled with an unfamiliar scent. Sunlight filtered through grimy windows, revealing a table covered with maps, mining tools, and bottles of soil samples. The dog curled into a sunbeam, watching her with calm, knowing eyes. Evelyn's fingers traced the maps, precise surveys of underground water sources, marked with a red X 2 miles northwest, labeled, primary source, 40 foot down, pure. A letter beneath, dated 3 days ago, froze her blood. Signed by Silas Crow, the wealthy merchant buying up land with a savior's smile, it detailed payments to a surveyor and orders to keep silent until he owned the basin. Crow knew about the water and was letting the town suffer to profit from their desperation. The dog growled, ears pricked. Bootsteps crunched outside. Evelyn's pulse raced as she scanned the small cabin for a hiding place. The dog padded to a loose floorboard in the corner. She pried it up, revealing a cramped crawl space. She slid inside with the dog, pulling the board shut. Dust choked her, but she stifled a cough as Boots entered the cabin. "Everything still here?" a voice asked. "As far as I can tell," came the reply, Silas Crow, smooth and cruel. "Maps, samples, all untouched. Morrison did good work." Evelyn's breath caught. The dog's collar glinted, property of J. Morrison, surveyor. Joe hadn't vanished, he'd been silenced. Another voice spoke, chilling her further, Marshall Dixon, the town's lawman. "Silas, people are asking why you're buying land with no water. They won't stay fools forever." Crow chuckled. "Let them ask. Another month, they'll beg me to take their land. Then we'll discover the water and sell it back." The dog trembled, growling softly. Evelyn's fury matched its own. Dixon shifted, spurs clinking. The widow, Evelyn Grant, she was following that dog today. She's got nothing to lose. That makes her dangerous. Crow's boots stopped. "Grant? If she's seen anything, she won't live to tell it." A revolver clicked. Evelyn's heart pounded as Crow tore up floorboards, searching. The dog whined sharply from the opposite corner, drawing Crow's attention. There, he barked, striding away. The dog had bought her seconds. A shout came from outside, Silas, riders approaching, council members, armed. Damn it, Crow hissed. Grab the maps, samples, everything. Back exit. They fled, boots fading into the brush. Evelyn waited, trembling, until the townsfolk's voices grew loud. She crawled out, the dog shaking dust from its fur. Most evidence was gone, but a single paper lay under the table, a survey by Joe Morrison, dated 2 weeks ago, detailing an aquifer vast enough for 3 towns. His notes in the margin read, Crow insists on delay despite suffering. His plan is wrong. If anything happens to me, this must reach the council. Evelyn clutched the paper as the cabin door burst open. Clara Whitmore, sharp-eyed, led council members and armed ranch hands. Evelyn Grant, Clara said, eyeing the dog, the dust, the paper. What brings you here? Evelyn hesitated, then straightened. I saw Crow and Dixon. They're hiding a water source to buy the land cheap. This proves it. She handed Clara the survey. Clara's face hardened as she read. Water for 3 towns, and Crow knew while our children went thirsty. The group's outrage grew, voices rising like dry brush catching fire. They rode back to town, the dog at Evelyn's side. By the time they reached the square, the town had gathered, drawn by whispers of betrayal. Clara held the survey aloft. Joe Morrison tried to warn us. Crow and Dixon hid water to steal our land. Evelyn found the truth. All eyes turned to Evelyn. For the first time, she wasn't invisible. They let us suffer, she said, voice clear. They wanted control over our water. The crowd roared. Marshal Dixon pushed through, badge glinting. Don't listen to her. She's half crazed. But Clara thrust the survey at him. Morrison's words. Your surveyor. Dixon's bravado cracked. Crow's idea, I just went along. Where's Crow? Someone shouted. Fled, Dixon muttered, sinking to his knees. He promised me a share. The crowd surged, ripping Dixon's badge away. Clara vowed Crow would face justice, but first, the water. Guided by Morrison's survey, they rode to the marked site. Evelyn dug alongside them, the dog nearby, as shovels bit into dry earth. Hours passed, doubts creeping in. Then, a shout, damp soil, then a trickle. Water gushed, and cheers erupted. People knelt, splashing their faces, weeping. Evelyn joined them, the dog lapping eagerly. As joy swept Copper Ridge, Evelyn's gaze lingered on the horizon. Crow was still out there. The fight wasn't over. At dawn, Clara rallied the council. Crow's headed to the capital to twist the truth. We'll intercept him with Morrison's survey. Evelyn volunteered, surprising herself. Clara nodded. You've earned it. 6 rode out, Clara, Evelyn, 2 ranch hands, and 2 trailwise men, the dog limping alongside. They tracked Crow's horse to a narrow pass. There, he filled a canteen, his horse laden with stolen maps. Crow! Clara called. He turned, fear flashing before his smile returned. Just fetching help for your town. No lies, Clara said, rifle raised. We have Morrison's proof. Crow's eyes locked on Evelyn. The widow with nothing. I should have dealt with you. Evelyn stood firm. You let children die for profit. What did you do to Morrison? He was weak, Crow sneered. Couldn't see progress requires sacrifice. The dog growled. Crow's hand twitched toward his revolver. Clara fired first, a single shot. Crow fell, blood staining his coat. They buried him in the riverbed, unmarked, and returned his stolen maps to Copper Ridge. Weeks later, wells flowed, crops grew, and laughter returned. Dixon faced prison, his badge gone. Evelyn, no longer the forgotten widow, was named keeper of Morrison's maps. Neighbors brought her food, sought her voice. One evening, by the new well, children played, the dog chasing them. Clara joined her. "You saved us, Evelyn." "I followed a dog," Evelyn said softly. Clara smiled. "It takes a lonely soul to see what others miss." Evelyn looked at the thriving town, feeling belonging for the first time. She whispered thanks to the dog, to Morrison, and to Copper Ridge, which finally saw her as one of their own.